Hello, we're back again here live from TechXChange Orlando. I'm sitting down with Dusty Rivers, Senior Director for Z at Polera Technologies. Dusty, would you like to introduce yourself to our watchers?
Sure, I'm Dusty Rivers. Actually an IBM Lifetime Champion for Z or Z, depending on where we are. And my main focus is mainframes. I've been on the mainframe community for 48 years.
48 years.
Yes.
Well, that's a year shorter than I'm old. That's pretty cool, Dusty.
Thanks for that.
So yeah, you're a senior executive there,
Right.
director. I don't know what the
Yeah.
cooler term is. That must mean you have a lot of like leadership responsibilities for your company, your clients, your personnel, the young people coming in.
Yes, so I kind of offer the experience of been there, done that,
Yeah,
made mistakes. So on the mainframe, helping customers to work on modernization, telling them what modernization is and isn't. There's a big
yeah.
disconnect on
That's
what
a
that
whole series
means. Yeah.
there, if you want. Yeah,
And so I kind of offer that I've been there, done that. And also part of my portfolio is working with the young kids, working with college students, the new to Z, bringing them into the mainframe community.
yeah, cool. And how does that? Are there like magical ingredients and tricks to make that successful? Is there like
No,
a golden silver bullet for it, or
actually, that's going to be a silver bullet because we're getting an influx of new talent.
yeah,
And what they're finding out when I go to the universities is you don't have to be, we're finding a lot of people, you don't have to even be technical. You just have to be able to think, do analysis, adapt to technologies. And a lot of the times they'll say, I didn't know you could do that, or I didn't know the mainframe could do that.
yeah,
And so we're bringing in new talent. We're working with new customers. I go out and talk to the universities with the Z University
mhm,
program. So kind of the magic potion, if you would, getting in front of them where they see they can ask questions. It's not some magical hard thing to work on.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's my mantra as well. Like it's just another machine.
It is.
But yeah, do you also see that when I mean the initial confrontation, if you wish, for the new to the platform people is like, wow,
Well,
this thing.
exactly. And one of the things we did at one of the shows in the past is we set up a lab
Right.
with Visual Studio.
Yes.
And we didn't tell them what it was hooked to. And we told them, go write Go language or
Yeah.
a Go. To do what? We said, it doesn't matter, just write it. And they did it. And they're like, okay, what was the big deal? I said, you just developed a program on the mainframe. And they're like, no, I didn't. I said, yes, you did.
And they never knew,
Yeah, the
sort of.
big misconception is you can't do new things on the mainframe. That's wrong.
It is, yeah,
Yeah.
because I think it's been doing new
Yes.
things a lot. Like the way you said, I didn't know it could do that.
And I love to hear, I didn't know you could do that. That means it kind of opens their eyes. And a lot of the younger people see, wait a minute, I can get a job and I'm doing things in college at my job on a mainframe that I didn't even know you could do.
Yeah, so they're ahead of themselves. They
Yes,
realize,
they are.
yeah, that is very cool. So is there any, just for the people wanting to, learn from your experience, they've been there,
Yeah.
done that mantra, which I love. It's amazing. Um, do you have like pitfalls for people who are going to do that and done that? Like, oh, like
I,
is there a special approach?
I,
Or does it depend on the person?
it depends on the person, but I would also say what I tell the people at New to Z, you have to learn the one most important thing is what is the most important thing you have to learn to sell?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm learning here.
Yourself.
Right. Yeah,
You have to
absolutely.
learn to sell yourself, build your network, build your LinkedIn profile, build your network here, meet people, talk to people,
Yeah.
because you have to be able to sell yourself. So if you're going in for an interview, and I've seen people come in and they'll say, what do you want to do? I want to code COBOL.
Yeah.
To do what?
Yeah.
Well, I want to work in a database or I want to work. So when I talk to the people and I say, what do you want to do? Be able to answer that question.
Yeah.
Because if you come in, if you look at the resumes, oh, I've got 300 resumes that say I can do COBOL programming. What makes yours different?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've been leadership at the university. I have been worked on this club, that club. You have to have diversity.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very. I think that's very valid advice for all the people watching this whenever we put it live. How
Yeah.
it's going to be soon. Um, so would you say it's also then important to not have all that, the network, the experience that you can sort
Yeah.
of show and tell, a bit of the academic approach,
Correct.
show your work, right?
Yes.
Not just I can do COBOL, but I done a piece of COBOL to improve payment processing,
Yes.
mortgage calculations, and that what I find is when we talk to people in the
Yeah.
industry and in our little unquote niche
Right.
of the market that runs a great deal of the important stuff. You find so many common factors
Right.
across different like different areas where you're like, hey, I was working to improve this piece of COBOL to make, I don't know, the
Right.
printouts of statements go faster. But then you talk to a database guy and he goes, well, we could have just made a little better index for you or a
Exactly.
thing. And when you bring those people together, it's
Well,
so
and
fulfilling.
that's one of the things is I went back to my university because, like I said, I've been doing this for 48. My entire career has been mainframe,
Yeah, cool.
and things I'm doing now didn't exist when I was in
Mm.
university. And what my instructor told me is a couple of things. One, you have to learn to adapt.
Yes.
You have to learn to learn. In other words, you have to constantly learn. And the most important thing is you have to learn to listen and communicate.
Yeah.
Because the big problem is what you just said. If I do this great project and you don't know about it, and you come in and say, well, I'm trying to do this. Oh, I've already done that. Is communicate. Communication is key.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think one of the big, maybe I don't, maybe you disagree, but this, me and the learning curve. Um, you see, especially in, well, not as, but in general, people will listen to reply
Yes.
instead of like listen to grasp.
I was going to say that exact
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's two types of listening. Is there's listening to respond and listening to understand. If you're listening to respond, you're not hearing, you're not learning.
No, you're prepping your
And in fact,
reply, sort of.
a
Yeah.
friend of mine told me a way to get around that is when I'm talking to you, if I'm writing down what you say, my brain is forcing me to learn what you said. So then I'm not listening to say, oh, I'm going to disagree with that point.
Oh, we got a guest here. That's
And
nice.
but the thing is you're right.
Yeah.
If you listen to understand, you're going to get more out of the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. And this, I mean, been doing this for longer than I'm alive, but hat off to you, dear
Uh,
sir. Um, You obviously didn't start as a senior director
no.
of the C department. So you had your path, your growth path,
Yes.
probably your ups and downs, as we
Yes.
all do. Um, is there something like nice or amazing or learnable to share there on how to
You know, I
sort
still
of not be inhibited by your first disappointment and go
actually,
on?
actually, most of your mistakes are where you learn the most
Oh yeah,
because I started out of the university doing COBOL. My passion was database, but the first job I got was COBOL and I hated it, but it was paying the bills.
yeah,
And then I got opportunity to go somewhere else. They said, we're doing database. And then dating myself is IBM when they came out with DB2. My part of my senior thesis is we wrote a relational database management system from Cod and Date's thesis. So when they came out with DB2, I told my company I'd love to work on that, and they said go do it.
go do it. Yeah,
And it was great. It was like something I really enjoyed because I understood is what I wanted to do. So I found out what I hated, what I didn't like, and then I found out what I
yeah.
wanted to
In order to
do.
find what you like.
And
Yeah,
then you kind of I would say my biggest superpower at the one is adapting.
yeah,
I go from this and then, then I went from that into distributed systems, into APIs, into interconnected systems. The idea is constantly, if you're constantly learning, you're never going to be bored.
yeah. I second that
Yeah.
motion a lot. Yeah, I have a lot of like youngsters in my
Yeah.
team at work. Well, youngsters, but
Yeah.
J to Z people. And they're like, "Oh, but how do you know?" Right? And like, yeah, I only know because I made so many mistakes.
Correct.
And it's harsh, and it sort of depends on the personality that you're training and coaching.
Right.
But I find on average that giving them sort of the safe space to make that mistake, where
Yes.
it's not disastrous, but in their brain, it needs to be, I call that emotional learning. And that helps them grow, I think.
Well, we all have our battle scars
Yeah.
and we learn from the scars.
Yeah.
And somebody said it, I'm not going to take credit for it, is, you know, if you don't make mistakes, you're not moving forward.
Yeah.
And if you're also, someone said, if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying because everybody is not going to do something. But I guess people say, I don't want to make a mistake. It's, you got to make the
Yeah.
mistakes because if it's like as a child, don't touch the hot pot on the stove.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, I won't do that again because I remember,
Yeah.
well, your muscle memory kind of triggers your technical memory of, yeah, I did that last time. And also working with others, they can tell you their scars.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, don't do this because the last time I tried it, it didn't work.
Yeah.
So the power of communication is you can kind of get that. I hate to use the word shared pain
Yeah.
is we did this before and it didn't work. So I don't want you to waste your time.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
hurting
Yeah,
yourself,
that's right.
on that hot stove.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. And do you think that there's like a important like role for leadership to create such environments where people learn that it's okay to, you know, mess up?
Yes.
Because I see the base educational system sort of puts you in this mantra of succeed, be perfect, do it all, first try, first right sort
Right.
of thing. And or is it something that automatically grows
I think
given the right
I think you have
environment?
I think you have to grow because like when we're in university or school, you're going for a grade, you're going to get something right. But I took a class at the university and I, I didn't understand. I tried to fake it and I failed. It's like, okay, I can't do that anymore. And one of the things is in my job, I have to be certified.
Yeah,
Well, one of the things I had to take is there's quantum certification. And you go to IBM, you say, I want to take the quantum
yeah,
test. And I thought, hey, I know quantum, I'll just take the test without studying, and I miserably failed because I didn't prepare myself, but I was like, okay, I learned not to do that again. And I think as a leader or as a manager, you have to understand people are going to make mistakes.
yeah,
Uh, if you stay in communication, assure them that, okay, yeah, you're going to make mistakes. The only mistake is not asking for help,
yeah. I
you
think
know.
that's very good advice. Yeah. I think, Dusty, this is a wrap. Thank you very, very much.
Wait a
Really
minute.
enjoy. Yeah.
Before we finish,
What we're gonna
we
do?
have to hug Kenny Stein's
Oh yeah,
mainframe.
and say we're touching it, right?
Hey, Kenny, we're touching your mainframe.
That's very good. I hope he's watching. See you next time, Dusty.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much. Enjoy the rest of this amazing conference, and we'll see each other. Thank you. Right.